What is going on, guys? Happy Wednesday, BTL episode 133 piece. Jovan, I'm in piss.
Yeah, me too.
I'm drowning.
Me too. Not a great day yesterday.
I'm absolutely drowning.
At least in college basketball. It's a lot of piss.
Oh. You just take a breath here, gents. Take a breath here, gents. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. It's been a bad start to the day for the team. Bad day of bets yesterday, to say the least. I mean, that Pepperdine piss absolutely reeks. I can still smell it. God damn it, dudes. Aaron Judge. Turns out that tweet was bullshit. I mean, I don't understand. I'll just leave it at that. And then obviously I was fucking around with Yankee fans like I literally do for a living on Twitter last night and making videos. Like, you guys know that shit's coming. And then I wake up this morning and my fucking Twitter is banned for telling someone to step on a Lego as a fucking joke. And I get banned for the rest of the day. So I've been trying to figure that shit out this morning. I got to cut down from a week to a day talking with Twitter today. So we're good. We're good. I'll be back tonight, but what the fuck? And now everyone just absolutely roasting me and I can't respond because my Twitter's locked. I can just see the stuff. I can't like it. I can't respond. I can only DM. So if you guys need anything from me quickly, just DM me, I guess, and I got you. But holy fuck, it's been a tough start to the day. All right, we need to hit some bets.
Yeah.
Be nice to people, Krabs. I mean, I told someone to step on a Lego, man. Is this the direction we're going in? Is that hate speech? Is it?
Just might
That's
be.
a joke.
Just might be.
That's a joke. Okay, I've said way worse shit on there. We all know that. Come on. God, man.
That's hilarious.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We got the Gens fam coming in. What's up, squad?
Yo.
How we doing? But man, Iowa and Pepperdine last night stung. It felt like a fucking 1-2 punch from Mike Tyson's before bed.
Yeah.
I feel stupider. I feel just like a worse human being after betting on those two teams. So we've got work to do.
We do.
We've got work to do straight up because I do not feel good after those two bets. I'll give you Iowa and I'll eat Pepperdine. Two bad bets. Just two weird games. The teams just never really seem to have it. I don't really understand. I mean, I feel like Iowa was right in there the whole time, at least in the beginning. And then right at the end, they kicked it up and got it within like 7. And I was like, what the fuck? This is honestly just like a middle finger to us with them kicking up in the last minute. And then Pepperdine was winning the whole game. And at the end of the game, just slowly didn't give a fuck. Pepperdine, sure. A little crabby
sharp. Iowa was sharp.
Trent, bro, you want me to check your receipts, bro? We don't want to go down that path. Come on now. I can't even respond back to people on Twitter, Trent. Just give me a day, bro. Give me a day.
A day.
Fuck. Well, the good thing is we've got plenty of options today.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing is we got plenty of plays to bounce back. I don't know if the squad ride is cursed. I don't know if we need to cut it down to 3 plays. I don't know if we need to just pick it ourselves. I like keeping chat engaged, but chat, you guys are costing coin.
Nuggets were really
okay. The Nuggets also sharp. How about that under too that didn't hit? That was also sharp. Sure. Never bet on a game twice. When you do, you go 0-2. Sure. Unbelievable. It was literally just like the episode of South Park where they go to the water park and all the water turns into piss and they're all just going down the slides of piss. That's literally what it was last night.
It sucks. It sucks, but it is what it is. And it gets me more excited about the coming weeks. And not that like we had a bad NFL day Sunday, because I think we both did pretty well, but it was a lot of favorites. A lot of favorites. So
100%. Saw the video the dude Trent reposted saying, "Oh, not going to be a public week this week. No surgical sixes hitting this week."
I need to know. We need to run it back, gents, on which favorites are going to get the job done. That's all I need to know.
No, Trent, we're just talking about how they're not going to run the table again this week.
There's got to be 2 that win.
There'll be a couple.
The difference is there is a lot of favorites last week, or a couple of favorites last week that are like shouldn't have been favorites.
Well, they were sharp favorites. So that video was kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
The guy was like, all the favorites won last week. The public 8. It's like, no, the Raiders were a favorite.
Raiders.
Nobody bet on them.
Yeah.
The Niners were the favorite. Nobody bet on them. So, yeah, the favorites ran the table, but there were some sharp favorites last week. People were on the Dolphins.
Are we fading the fucking Dolphins again?
You know how that ends up, though, because I saw, I'm not going to spoil anything, but in the case that the Chargers money line at plus money were to be the last leg of the surgical 6, haven't seen that ending before, but I'm not against it. I'm not against it. But we'll talk about that in the next couple of days. We'll figure it out.
That'll be. We got time, Trent. We got time. And hey, Jimmy G coming back from the grave. That could be a huge W for the kid. I got that pretty nice future in my pocket. $250 on plus 18 hundo for the 49ers that I snagged right when they got McCaffrey. So if Jimmy G can make his way back, even if it's on fucking one leg for the playoffs, I'm in. Wrap him back up, get him out there. Purdy will fucking get us to the finish line, and we'll pass the torch, pass the baton off to one-legged Jimmy G, and we'll get there, okay? That team's winning with defense. They're not winning with Jimmy G anyways. He's good enough. He can get it done. Let's get him in there. Let's get him some cortisone, whatever Liver King, steroids, whatever he was taking. Let's go ahead and ship those to Jimmy G and get him back into good health, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
Judge just banged. Nice. Yeah, the get to bang Kate Upton, POD. That also didn't smack. So
Yeah, piss.
Guess you didn't get any action last night, did you?
Yeah, it sucked. I mean, they did pretty well in hockey, except for the most confident one, which sucks. Always happens, but
that's how it goes, man.
I know. The Red Wings, though. Red Wings, shout out them. Shout out the 5.5 Blues over, and Sorokin made an empty net. We love that. Everything but the over in Pittsburgh, sure. But we go.
You hit all your other hockey bets?
Yeah, that was legit the only one I missed. Piss. Absolute piss.
I don't even know what to say because I mean, that's the only one I took. It's not all about me, by the way. Well, it kind of is, but
yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's my fault. I mushed it. So
yeah, it happens. It happens. And yeah, these two, there were a couple of them. Which I honestly kind of got suckered into. I took it on the side. The total for the game was 6.5, and they put up both goalies combined allowed for 5.5, or goals allowed for 5.5, which I've never seen those squares before. Which they're going to be like a goal lower because they don't include empty nets. So once I saw that, I was a little scared, but I was still taking it. But in the end, we see how that played out. So if any more of those pop up in games that probably you would expect to go over, I will be very cautious.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to get on the ice after last night, although we can touch on some stuff. We can hop over to the NBA as well. Yeah, so I tried something new. Not gonna lie, I knew I'd get caught out for it. Add that to the list. Tried something new. It's called 2% milk. I think they call it half and half.
Yeah.
Half and half. I don't deserve whole milk after last night. I don't even know if I could afford it. So ask for a little bit of 2% in there. See if it could cheer me up a little bit. It's been a tough day. It's been a tough day.
Extremely soft.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Add that to the list of shit today. Shit, man. Let's go to the NBA. Let's get that over with because I fucking hate watching it and I can't hit a bet in it right now. Although it is my most profitable sport of the season somehow, which is kind of hilarious. Any of these plays sticking out to you, man? I don't really feel like going through injury reports right now, but any weird lines? Can we fade the Lakers tonight? What are we doing? What are we thinking? Also, AD was sick last night, just left the game. That dude's a pussy, and he's literally the dude from SpongeBob wrapped up in like all the fucking gauze with all the machines who has like glass bones. You remember that dude?
Yeah.
That's literally him. But when he plays, my God, he's good. But he's a pussy, man. He's a pussy.
It's just, I hate it.
He's got a little tummy ache. He's got to go leave the game. Like, what? You guys are under 500, and you're Anthony Davis. You're a grown-ass man. You're going to leave the fucking arena because you got a tummy ache?
I just don't know.
It must have been pretty bad. Hey, maybe he was really sick. Maybe he had a Lamar Jackson case. If he did, so be it. Go take care of biz. But shit, man. Figure it out, AD. Got to stay on the court. You're turning into Jacob deGrom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he's worse.
I still cannot believe Aaron Judge is a fucking Yankee, man. What was up with that?
Dude, I don't know. I mean,
John Hyman, bro. What are you smoking, dude?
Yeah.
What is he smoking? I want some.
I don't know. Sometimes I really wonder if they're just planted by like the other reporters, like Passan or Nightingale or one of them, just send a little source to the other one's way, and they're like, "Here, break the story. You look like an idiot." Sometimes I wonder. I feel like something that big, like I know there were talks, I know it's progressing or whatever. I'm sure they got to a certain point where it was like, okay, this may happen. That's something that big. I feel like you just cannot get wrong.
Dude, I am getting so many texts from everyone I know because I mean, I have a lot of. First of all, Yankees fans are everywhere because for some reason everyone's a Yankees fan. I've got a lot of Yankees fan friends. And I chirp them right to their face all the time like it's my job, just like I do on social media. I'm literally the same person in real life than I am on Twitter, guys. So I'm chirping my buddies as hard as I possibly can, even when the Yankees are in the playoffs. I don't give a shit. So on my phone's getting blown up saying, ha, you fucking thought, you dumbass. The amount of clown emojis I've gotten today, I could literally start a fucking carnival. It's absolutely incredible. Peter just texted me and goes, you fucking thought, dude. He goes, you thought. I was like, I just don't need this right now.
Yeah. I got some Giants fans here that are in just absolute shambles.
You know what? I do hope John Hyman steps on a Lego, and apparently that's the meanest thing on earth to say.
Yeah,
So
I
that
got
must
banned
mean
from
something.
Twitch.
Fuck you, John Hyman. Shit, man.
Pain.
All jokes aside, though, Aaron Judge is a fucking beast and deserves every penny. And I hope he stays healthy because he's good for baseball and fun to watch. But I just really wish he wasn't in pinstripes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool with it. Let the Yankees blow their salary as they should, but are they going to win anything ever?
If
No.
Aaron Judge can, replicate last season, that contract will be worth every penny.
Yeah.
He can replicate the greatest season ever. Do you want to talk about that article that came out? Have you read it?
About what?
About the different baseballs? Have you heard about it? So,
I saw it. I certainly saw it.
Have you read it? So I've only read like a third of it. I haven't read through it. It's fat. It's a fat article.
Yeah. So I've seen different pieces of it. Of it.
Go ahead.
It's not surprising. I'll say it's not surprising.
It's kind of bad, dude.
It's bad, especially considering they got caught the first time last season, and then they came out and said, "Okay, we're going to stop that. We're going to be committed to one singular baseball."
Yep.
This year, and what do? It's not just 2; it's 3.
They brought out a third.
Yeah.
They brought out a third baseball.
The third, and now they have I don't even know how to describe it, but some whatever technology or tracking or whatever to see exactly where the balls came from, which games they were used in, outside of just looking at them and getting samples from those.
You know what they did? They bought balls off of fans. A lot of stadiums too will have authenticated resellers, at a little table selling balls from that stadium. Like Nats Park has that. They use those. But it was a world-renowned scientist who did this data, and the company, I think it was Business Insider, was the one who published it. So they paid for the whole thing. And they tested over 250 baseballs at 22 different parks. And they found that, what do they call them? The Goldilocks balls, the ones that were in between. So they have the balls from last season that were unjuiced / I guess the regular baseballs, we'll call them, right? Just the regular standard baseballs that people kind of bitched about when the offense went down. They have those from last year. And then they had to dig into the reserves from 2021. Those are the super juiced balls, right? They've dug into those. Those are the juice balls we saw from last season that people bitched about. And then they said they're done with using those. And then turns out they were not done with using those. This past season, they actually used those along with this third ball that they just made for this season called the Goldilocks balls. It's in between the normal baseball and the juiced. So it's like mini juiced, like a little bit juiced, a little more pop. And you know where they found the majority of those baseballs, Jovan?
Oh, yeah.
New York City. And I'm not talking about the Mets.
Yeah.
Crazy coincidence that when a guy's trying to break a home run record that looks really damn good for ratings in baseball, crazy coincidence that they found all those juice baseballs up in the Bronx, huh?
Yeah. The funny part is
crazy.
It was in the back end of the season when he wasn't hitting a thing. That's the funniest part of it.
Well, they had to try something. He couldn't hit the side of a fucking barn.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's funny, but I mean, it's not surprising. And I will say, the whole conspiracy of it, while it's certainly true, I think to a degree it's not just manipulation. To some degree, it is them trying to figure out the best baseball for entertainment value or whatever it may be. They can't be doing that in the middle of the season with 3 different balls. Pick a ball, pick the Goldilocks ball, wherever, and run with it for a season. It's just there's too many things going on. I don't understand how this is just allowed to happen.
Well, you know what their excuse was for when they did this the first time in 2022, not this past season? I'm talking 2021, 2022 season. It was that they ran out of those balls.
Yeah.
So they had to dig into their reserves from 2021, the juice ones. It's like, bro, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. This is a multi-billion-dollar sport where they literally shit coin. Money literally grows on trees for these people. You're telling me they couldn't throw some bills at Rawlings, who they own Rawlings. They own the company. They bought MLB bought Rawlings. You're telling me they couldn't fucking put them in overtime and shit out some baseballs? They own the fucking company.
Not even just that, but I mean, some of their excuses too were like, "Oh, these are different baseballs. They're going to be manufactured different ways, just because it's impossible for us to make all the baseballs the same way because of the nature of how they're made or whatever." That's bullshit.
Different NBA basketballs? Are they different fucking
Yeah,
weights
they
and
have different
sizes?
basketballs, they have different footballs, and hockey have
like
different pucks, whatever. You're not
the
like
weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing.
It's ridiculous.
And are they even allowed to get away with this? Like, how is this legal? How are they allowed to just lie and nothing gets done about it? I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I don't get it.
It was reported to statistically. What? It was reported that offense was higher on Sunday Night Baseball, shocker, and Apple TV. Well, Cream Fresh, we fucking knew that. I mean, could have told you that one, brother.
You can tell.
I knew that when I saw the Nats on Apple TV on a Friday night when they hadn't scored a run in 2 months and they put up a 10-piece against the Giants. Yeah, I could have told you that. 100%. This guy's reading off a Business Insider. Well, that's where the article came from, you dumbo. What am I supposed to do? Start my own $1 billion research on it? I'm going to give you the spark notes of what the people did. So you don't have to fucking read the article.
You gotta go up your own little experiment you do with the baseballs.
Fuck. The crazy part is I literally have text chains from hitting up our guy Ben Carey at Capwise being like, yo, like we should go collect some baseballs and cut these bitches open. Like I had the text chains with it, but they beat us to it. They beat us to it. Pepperdine, sure. I never, ever want to bet on that fucking team ever again. Ever.
It's bad. It's bad.
You know who? Did you watch the game? I'm assuming you tuned in for a sack.
Nope. I was grinding. I was grinding for my 8 a.m. accounting exam today.
Sure. So you're even in more piss. Holy fuck.
There's nothing worse. It's honestly worse to just be grinding away at job costing, and then I look at the side and I see Pepperdine's just getting don't even have it on. I just check the score and it's demoralizing.
Oh man. Yeah, that was beat. Well, a once friend now turned enemy. Well, I guess not really an enemy, but Kerry Blackshear used to be on VT, our big ass center who was kind of a bucket. Remember him? His younger brother is on Nevada, and he's an absolute bucket and just dropped a career high like 25 points.
I know. He's
Shaheem Blackshear or whatever. He's good. He's good. Yeah. He's a huge point guard. I don't even know how to describe him. He's like a point forward, I guess, but he's really fucking good, dude. Yeah. So that sucked watching him. He literally looks exactly like Kerry Blackshear. He's just skinnier and faster. Watching him absolutely carve up that Swiss cheese of Pepperdine defense, bro. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I mean, that was kind of expected, but hoping they would do a little more on that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yankees World Series coming. Same team as last year. World Series coming. They re-signed Judge. That's going to change everything.
It's their year.
The fuck?
It's their year.
It's their year, man. Every year it's their year. All right. Well, I mean, if Aaron Judge doesn't play, 140, 150 games at least a season, that contract is impossible to live up to, by the way. So good fucking luck, Yankees fans. We'll be seeing. All right. I'm looking at some NBA games here today. Nothing crazy.
Nothing nuts, but I mean,
no Raptors, no Raptors looking lines. Maybe.
I mean, the only weird line
Phoenix
Suns,
is,
but I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yankees haters aren't pissed. Knicks fans, 100%, man. 100%.
I mean, I don't even really care. I hate the Yanks. I'm glad they re-signed Judge. I think they should re-sign Judge. I like seeing him in New York, if I'm really being honest with you. And it ties up all their salary, which they're not going to run out of it anytime soon, but that's a serious commitment. So I'm cool with that. I mean, realistically, unless they start getting 15 other pieces surrounding him, which they very well could, I'm not scared. So they can do what they want.
Okay. All right. Well, I hate the Yankees, and I hate that he re-signed. I'll be completely honest with you.
You know what I do love, though? I love that Kenley Jansen's in the AL East now. That's for sure.
Where is he?
Red Sox.
Yeah, that should sure up that bullpen.
I mean, anything's better than what they have, to be honest with you. I mean, anybody who's better than putting the ball on a tee is an improvement for the Red Sox bullpen.
I guess, but that's the guy they went out to lock up their bullpen with one of the most inconsistent, sketchy closers of the last couple of years. Like, I don't know, fucking know.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think Kenley Jensen deserves the chirps? Do you think he's better than he is? Like, are you a Kenley guy? I mean, he's debatably a Hall of Fame closer with just the amount of fucking saves that dude's had.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to say I'm a Kenley guy. Like, I think he certainly deserves the chirps, but I think he's even like a lot of last year. I think people don't realize he was a lot better than I guess a lot of people give him credit for. So, not a Kenley guy. I just think he's a little old. He's a little washed. He's not a shutdown closer, but for a Red Sox pen who is just garbage. I mean, they're all Double-A guys, and I think they're going to be pretty improved next year. But anything's an improvement, so it's a decent signing for them.
According to fucking John Hyman, who gets his fucking inside info from Uber Eats drivers, the Cardinals and Wilson Contreras are about to sign a deal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess it's finally time to get him out of there, but to go to a rival like that, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Did we go over the juice balls already? Yeah, we did. And then all the Yankees fans started crying in chat, so we stopped. Sorry, Shrimp A-Less, you already missed it, brother.
I'm just gonna use that as an excuse. They had all the D-juice balls in Chicago on the South Side. So
bro, but like, do we just not bet totals anymore? Like, is it just a smart decision to just stay off of totals now in MLB because we know that it's not going to stop? They literally lied and said, "All right, guys." Like after they got caught using two different balls, the fucking Manfred, who's a piece of shit, gets up there and goes, "Yeah, we're done. We're not going to do it anymore. I promise. We're going to use one ball this year." Next thing you know, they're using three.
Yeah.
What? So do we just not bet totals? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's sketchy, dude. It's manipulation. It's not fair to gamblers. And I know it's not all about gamblers, but the amount of money being thrown on these games and with it being legalized in almost every state now, every year with the growth, it's something that should be addressed. I mean, Canada just banned betting on USC because that shit's rigged. Like, I think there should be some more rules and regulations with this shit. It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. But you know, the government gets a percentage of all gambling losses. So I mean, you think they're in a rush to fucking change that shit?
Yeah.
Stay woke up there.
Yeah. Which that's another whole nother conversation of why it's not legal everywhere. But it's a little strange. Just gotta keep rolling with the punches, I guess.
Anything on the ice you like real quick before we go to college basketball? I want to dive in.
You know, I'm keeping my eye very tightly on this Bruins line because I really hate fading the Bruins.
They open up as a pick'em. Is that true or is that BS?
A little over that, but it's because Nathan McKinnon is out now for the Avs. He's out for a couple weeks. So that announcement came out right around when that move started to happen, which it's a whole nother conversation of that line was super short to begin with him in. So I really hate fading the Bruins, especially after I just did it and it worked in their last game. But this game is weird. This Avs team absolutely decimated with injuries. They just played on Saturday in Colorado or in Boston, which they're minus 170 in that game. And they won 5-1. And now they're coming back to Colorado. So, I mean, give them a couple cents or whatever. And now they're sitting minus 175 with no Nathan McKinnon, which is a massive deal. I know you are not too personnel in tune or whatever, but
he's out for a month, right? I saw.
Yeah. But this is their first game without him.
I know McKinnon.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. Yeah, but this is their first game without him, and to see them at this price is a little strange to me, to be honest with you. And I'm really hoping because it is starting to tick up a little bit, couple cents, whatever. If it gets to that minus 200 mark, I would splooge because you know what I'm doing once it hits that. But if it doesn't, still rolling with it. I'm going to take them on the money line. This is just it's a big buy bad news spot, and I don't understand why they're not bigger favorites in this game. So I hate it, but I'm probably rolling with it.
You're saying you don't know why Boston's not already minus 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and to be honest with you, like even with McKinnon in this game, prior to that announcement being made, them being minus 115, minus 120 that was crazy. And if that was the case and it stayed there, I would have splooged too.
I mean, dude, it's December fucking 7th, and Boston has 3 losses, man. Like,
Yeah.
they have like no team. Look, I didn't fucking play in the NHL, or I haven't capped it for 20 years, but I mean, 23-1, like that doesn't happen. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a time or two. Jovan, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's got to come back down to earth, at least a spec. So I don't hate fading that team at any point at any game over the next couple of weeks, just anyways.
Yeah.
Plus check.
I mean, I certainly hate it. It's just,
Yeah.
I might have to do it because I mean, this is the Avs, and yes, I see that in chat. This is the Avs, but this is a team who has been absolutely horrid. They have nobody right now, really, just nobody, and that's why, like, you see guys like Fruity and Shelley taking McKinnon SOGs because he has to shoot the puck 15,000 times because nobody else can do anything for this offense. They got smoked by the Flyers in that game where he got hurt in. They haven't been good whatsoever. So like this price is not just they're the Avs, they're going to have this price because we've seen some very, very short lines for them since a lot of their team has been out. So this price doesn't make much sense to me. And to answer this question, the underdog puck line is 200 to 240, and I go off of for that. But I'm keeping my eye on some of the. There usually isn't teams that go, they're this far below it and they go up to it. But there's been a couple recently, so I'm keeping my eye on it, especially because it's influenced by the news. So if it gets up to minus 200, I'll take the puck line because then it'll be a bettable price of like a 145, 150 ish. But if it doesn't, I'm still taking the money line.
Okay. What worries me a little bit, like you said, it's still the Avs, even though the Avs are only 13-9, and look like shit, and they're all hurt. It's still big name Avs, right? It's like if the I don't know what's a comparable team in the NBA. It's like if the Heat, when Jimmy and all them were banged up, it's like, yeah, like we could buy the Heat, buy low here, but it's still big name Heat who was just in the championship. Do we still want to, back them? That's the only thing that scares me. I wish it was, a team. I wish it was the Caps in this spot.
I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you, which makes it tough. But what does
that's my only hesitancy of taking them.
No, yeah, it's perfectly fine. I mean, that's one of my hesitancies too, as well as the fact that it's the Bruins who are just an absolute wagon.
How are the splits?
Hate fading them. I know the puck line splits were heavy towards the Bruins.
I can look. I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's evened out a little bit since then, but we're seeing 60% of the money, or 60% of the bets, 87% of the money on the puck line for the Bruins.
Yeah.
75% of the money, 86% of the bets actually flipped on their money line. So it's heavy their way for a reason. This is a team that's just decimated. So, I mean,
okay.
I get it.
Okay. So we'll stay posted on that. Any other games? Sharks.
Maybe the Sharks. That line is maybe a little short. The Canucks absolutely own the Sharks. They did just play a really close game that the Canucks did win in overtime, I believe, a little over a week ago.
How many games have the Canucks beaten the Sharks in a row? It's at least 5.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it on Twitter, I think, earlier. It was like 5 or 6. So it's probably a spot you'd like, but don't hate it. I do think the line for the Caps is a little short, to be honest with you, too.
Do you know?
Yeah, it seems a little short there, too. So I'll be keeping my eye on that line where it moves. Ovechkin goal is up on Prize Picks, though, which has been an absolute wagon when it is up.
It hits?
It hits.
Oh.
Not too often listed for that.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could back that. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't like the line. It looks like the line is ripping towards the Flyers, though. And I know the Flyers in years past have had pretty good success against us, I feel like. Or at least played in some close. I feel like it's always like a 1-goal game or close.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, I mean, it's line's ripping. I will say the one that I did kind of initially caught my eye as far as like prop lines go. We see this total in the Wild Flames game. It's, I think, juice wise, I guess, close with the Bruins Avs game of the lowest total of the day, sitting at the 6, depending on where you look. The odds for Fleury shutout are awfully high for a game with this total. Because he's sitting plus 1,500, which I think is a probably the highest one on the board, even with all of these games with much higher totals. I mean, I'm looking to see some of the ones that are similar, like Sabres, Blue Jackets, total at 7. Obviously, 2 goalies that are worse, and they have the same price. I mean, Korpisalo for the Blue Jackets also 1,500, same thing. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is actually 1,260, which is significantly lower than Fleury. And then we see on the other side for the Flames, Vladar, who has been very good. So like it's not like this price is out of nowhere. He's sitting plus 720. So that's it's really making me think that the Flames win this game 4-1, 4-0 even maybe.
Yeah.
They just smashed through. I hate that the line is kind of creeping towards the Wild, but those prices are crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your game plan for that? Are you going to make sure it doesn't go back down before puck drop, and then you're going to hammer? You're going to take the under, or are you going to take Calgary minus 1.5? What are you going to do?
I mean, the money line's only minus 145 right now, and it's creeping.
Okay.
It's been creeping back towards the Wild kind of side. It's getting a little cheaper, but as long as it doesn't keep like aggressively creeping towards them, I'm just going to take the Flames ML.
Okay.
And then I guess I don't think there's one up yet, but Vladar, if he gets a square put up for goals allowed, I'll be looking at that. And there's not too often do you get a Fleury 3 goals allowed square, even with as bad as he's been. They don't usually put that up at 3. So it's really interesting.
Okay. They're talking about the Celtics game in chat. Initially like the Suns, but if Chris Paul is coming back tonight, definitely not buying that good news. I'll be staying off that game and just watching it. That should be a pretty damn good game, right? I honestly don't even hate Boston there on the road as a favorite and moving against, the Suns and CP3 coming back. I wouldn't hate the Celtics there, honestly, at that point, but they're a little too hot right now for me to back. So just a stay away spot for me.
Yeah.
Stay away spot.
Don't hate that.
Okay. Nothing I love on the ice or the hardwood for the pros. We want to cut the shit and dive right into some CBBs. There's some good games today.
That we can.
Shout out the Mount last night. Shout out Iowa. Shout out Pepperdine. Those were really good plays. Fuck, man. Fuck. I owe you guys winners today. All right, we're getting it back. All right. Let's start out with Michigan State and Penn State. This is a pretty damn good game, right? Games at Penn State. Place will probably be rocking. I think both these teams are a little fraudulent, but I mean, could this be a good buy low spot for Michigan State? It definitely could. So they're coming off of 2 losses when they were favorites to Notre Dame and Northwestern by a combined like 30 points, where they only put up really like 50. They put up 52 points and 63 points. So 2 pretty shit performances there from Michigan State. Penn State got off to that crazy hot start, which I watch a lot of their games. They were in that same tournament as Virginia Tech. And to be honest, dude, like they're better than they used to. Like Penn State's always kind of been mid basketball. They've got some athletes. They have some good guards. But, dude, they were just making their shots, dude. I don't really think this team is like that. I think you agree, at least relatively. So it's kind of – this is honestly probably a stay-away spot for me. But seeing Penn State open up as a favorite against Michigan State always catches my eye. It always catches my eye. Are you playing Penn State here? I hate that it's also bought back from -4 to -3.5. I wish it moved from -4 to -5. Then I'd be talking about taking Penn State. But are you giving a shot to the Nittany Lions here?
No, honestly, I kind of considering Michigan State.
Wow.
I think this is. I was really scared about them being super public, and they're really not, which is kind of interesting to me. So, I mean, they're getting more of the bets in handle, I believe, last I saw, but it's not an aggressive amount. But that line getting pushed back is interesting to me. I just don't think anybody's really in on this Michigan State team. Neither am I. They're coming off that beat down by Notre Dame. I mean, they lost to Michigan or lost to Northwestern outright after that. They looked terrible against Portland. So, I mean, they haven't really done anything to impress a lot of people. And I think, like, at some point, regression is going to hit the Penn State team. Like, I love Jalen Pickett, but this team is just overall not that good. And I think they've been getting a lot of respect from the books, too, if you look at their lines. And I think that's going to catch up eventually. So, I don't know. I don't think I'm running to bet Michigan State, but if I did have to do that, and that line keeps creeping down towards Michigan State, that would probably be the side that I'm on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm staying away. Although right in front of my eyes, it looks like consensus just moved from -3.5 back to -4 for Penn State. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
If that line moves back to -4 or starts moving towards Penn State, are you off?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on to begin with yet.
Right, but you'll be 100% off.
100% off if we see some more move towards Penn State, yeah.
Okay. What about Siena and Georgetown? You giving the Siena Dogs a look against this absolutely fraudulent program in Georgetown?
I mean, yeah. This is like I don't want to act like it's super sharp or anything, but this Georgetown team, I'm going to fade them every chance I get. It's kind of like they're still at that stage that I think FSU was at for me early in the season. I mean, you can talk about Louisville too, who's really still in that stage. They're just going to get lines that I'm going to take against them because they're just a very bad basketball team. So, I mean, I would gladly take a stab at Siena. I mean, wouldn't be shocked to see them win this one outright.
Siena's a decent ball team.
They are.
Club.
Yeah.
I mean, they've beaten Seton Hall outright. They've beaten Florida State outright. 2 big wins. That might be the only reason I don't take them today because they might have used up all their big wins already.
Yeah.
But I 1,000% lean that way. You know, the Krabs methodology on this one would be, you know, buy low on the shit Georgetown team who sucks, and why are they laying this much, you know, against a decent Siena team with a better record who's already pulled off 2 upsets. Teams like Georgetown don't apply to that. Teams like Louisville, teams like Florida State don't apply to that. Those teams are buns with big name programs, and I think we just continue to fade until the lines correct themselves and adjust. They clearly have not yet. They're still trying to set traps here and get people to bet on shit like Georgetown. Hence why there's 51% of bets on Georgetown, but only 23% of handle because the dumb little bets, people who don't notice this shit, are all falling for Georgetown. But the big bets, the sharp bettors, aren't falling for that shit. They're throwing big bets on Siena's. So I definitely lean that way. I like the line move. I might have to play this.
Yeah. And just to talk about this real quick, I saw the square. I will say, Skinner's had a lot of these in like the last couple weeks that have been set at 2.5, which are also green and still find a way to go over. And also anybody against the Coyotes, no matter what they've done, they're going to be at 2, and they have been at 2. So that's what's keeping me away from that. And I do actually kind of lean Coyotes buck line in that game too. So that's keeping me off there, but great comment still though.
Okay.
So that is one to look out for.
Siena's also the Buzz POD. Sure it is. Good. Does UConn get their first loss today or what? I promise we will talk about that game.
Yeah.
Okay. I promise you guys that. That's one thing I can promise you. We'll spend plenty of time on that one. All right. What about DePaul St. Joe's? Sorry, St. John's. How about St. Joe's legacy cover last night, by the way? They actually did their fucking job.
They did.
I don't know if you saw how they covered.
I didn't.
Well, I'll tell you what. Temple will be on bad beats on Monday. That's all I'll say. We got a rare blessing on that one. All right. We hit a shot. We got a steal, hit a shot, got a fouled them. Temple missed both free throws and then went down and hit a fucking layup, literally to cover by the hook with like a second left. So It was impeccable. Yeah.
That's nuts.
The Hawk will never die. They fought for the boosters. They fought. Absolutely love it. But are you taking anything? I mean, honestly, respect to St. John sitting at 8-1. I did not even know they were 8-1.
Yeah, they've been playing really well. Really well.
Sneaky 8-1. Although they haven't really played anybody, but when they did play Iowa State, they kind of got clapped. The only decent team they've played so far. They did beat Temple and Syracuse. 2 good wins. You look over at DePaul, who I feel like is a sleeper pick, a dark horse every single freaking year, but they never do shit. They're coming off of 2 pretty good wins, including an underdog win when they were +1.5 against Loyola Chicago, although Loyola Chicago might be the biggest frauds in D1, as we know this season. You taking a stab here at DePaul, getting 9 points, or are you going about your day not trying to get cute and fade St. John's?
Yeah, I'm not going to fade St. John's. I think DePaul is just they're one of those teams that not even just this year, but typically, like I see a lot of short lines for them, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe there's a time. Maybe this is the time where DePaul gets like one of those statement wins, and they start climbing up the ranks of that conference a little bit. But now it just never seems to happen. I honestly, this is probably like my not that I've been doing particularly well on these, but it's kind of my don't overthink it overplay of the day that I think I'm just going to take. Because these teams, I especially like the St. John's coming off of a performance against Iowa State where they struggled just to do anything whatsoever. And credit to Iowa State's defense. That's kind of what they do, even though they've been a little more inconsistent this year. But this just seems like a classic game to me that we've seen from these couple teams where it's an 80 piece from them both. Really high total, which I think for a reason.
It's got to be that high for a reason, right? Okay. Yeah. And it's going up.
Yeah, all right. I've seen some 158s now.
So over no play for that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to fade Zach Edey and the 4th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers, who I think are really fucking good, against this trendy Hofstra team that has one of the most underrated, best mid-major players in the country, and Aaron Estrada, who's averaging 22 points a game again this season?
Yeah, well, I certainly might want to fade his points on Prize Picks. That's for
Estrada or Edey?
Zach Edey. I mean, check that one out. And I think it's not necessarily just he's not going to do anything in this game type thing, because when you look at some of these games, obviously they're all very competent opponents, and this one has some serious blowout potential, which I think it will end up being. So I think a reason this line is set that low is because it's going to get ugly very, very quickly. And I also think like he's definitely a very agile guy. Now, I would say he plays a lot more with pace, but this is going to be a game where Hofstra is going to really push the pace, and whether they score or not off of it, which I don't think they will, Purdue's going to get whatever they want in transition. So it's like I don't want to say Zach Edey's not going to be involved offensively, but certainly much less than he's had to be involved in some of these other games. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, riddle me this. Yeah, I mean, what the hell? You're telling me Purdue.
That one, like, I think it makes sense, like, to a degree, like this having the greened out, because we'll get all those teams, right? Like, even like a Minnesota, which I think that game had a bigger spread than, you know, a couple of these other games, which he's had to play a lot of those games from tip to finish. This, he obviously will not have to, so it makes a little bit of sense, but I think the game script part of it, too, is what kind of tips it over for me.
Where his rebounds at? Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I could get behind that. I mean, they're probably going to be up 40 points at half, and he's not even going to play the second half. So
that's interesting too. That helps. Mason Gillis not playing. He's the one who dumps it into the paint for him to just kind of go to work.
Damn.
So that
they had some good chem going too.
Yeah, that could be big.
Okay. Interesting. We talk about consistency with point guards and how important that is for bigs and how that doesn't get talked about that much. That's interesting.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right. How about Penn Villanova?
Man,
I wish this line.
It's a big number.
It's a big number, and it's moving the wrong way.
Is it? Is it coming back down to Penn?
No, it's moving towards Nova. It's moving towards Nova. Are you trying to take Nova? You want to take Nova here? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to fade the Jordan Dingle as him on the road narrative?
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge number, I think, against a Penn team. I mean, we saw. I don't think Penn is getting the type of line disrespect that I think they should. They're, again, one of those teams in Villanova, when they have gotten the line respect, even in shorter situations like their last game against, Oklahoma, it's been paying off. So this just feels really, really big for a Penn team that, they have Dingle. He's very capable, and a Nova team that's not really going to blow you away with their offensive prowess or whatever. So a good game from Jordan Dingle theoretically should keep them in the game. So I don't know why it's 14.5.
Dingle on Prize Picks? He's not. He's never on Prize Picks. Soft. Yeah, I'm going to play devil's advocate. The only thing that's keeping me off that is, it's still Villanova. It's still big name Nova against UPenn, right? We know Jordan Dingle's a bucket. We know Nova sucks this year. if you take the names and off, these teams and off the back of their jerseys too, like this is without a doubt you bet Nova for sure. This line is super fat, but it's still big name Nova. That's the only thing that's sketching me out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame you whatsoever. But I'm saying for me, the second that I kind of got off of that train, because I was worried about that kind of in the, I guess, last couple of weeks, because they've had some games where I've wanted to take them. The second we saw the reaction to everybody when they played Michigan State in that game that I think you were on with me too, in that game they covered, nobody wanted them. And then going into the next game against the Portland team that everybody loves, not a soul wanted them either. So I mean, really since then there hasn't been a game where I've seen any type of love for Nova, even in the short line against Oklahoma in their last game. So certainly a concern, but I think at this point we're kind of over that hump for me.
Okay. Also, yeah, shout out Matt Mayer for fucking tweaking last night.
Absolutely him.
The plays we thought could be fake sharp turned out to be the winners, and our plays were the ones that were fake sharp.
Yeah,
we're fucking bozos, man. Damn it.
Talking
about everyone's pitching Michigan or everyone's pitching Wisconsin on stream. I guess everyone's trying to be a sharp today. Well, turns out they were the Sharps, and we're the ones eating fucking McDonald's for dinner. Damn it.
Yeah. We'll be good.
Can you look at Brown, Rhode Island? Somebody's going to the game or something. I don't like the way that line's moving, brother. But a little weird that Rhode Island opened up -5 here. I mean, Brown's no good. Brown's not getting any of the coins. Brown's getting all the coins. Rhode Island's not good. Brown has won and covered 4 games in a row, including an outright win against Bryant, which is honestly a very impressive win. That's a very good Bryant team. Yeah. And Rhode Island is absolutely in piss. Though Rhode Island don't they have a big win this season already?
Rhode Island?
Yeah, Rhode Island beat somebody. They beat
they beat
no, they did not.
Rhode
Island sucks.
Yeah.
Rhode Island sucks. I'm thinking of Maine. Same colors. I'm being a bot. Rhode Island, Ollie. This team's poverty this season. Mitchell twins left. My bad. I had a different school in my brain. Yes, this line is very sus, and I want to take Rhode Island. But the one thing keeping me off of it is it moving from -6.5 to -5. Now, Brown is getting shit nuked, so that definitely could be it.
Yeah, not anymore, it looks like.
Now you're seeing money on Rhode Island's?
The bets are on Rhode Island, the money's on Brown, but not drastic splits. But that's what would certainly keep me off of that.
Okay.
Money line is also pretty separated.
Yeah, okay. Stay off that, I guess. I mean, Rhode Island is historically a decent basketball program, so maybe people are trying to buy low on that squad, and maybe it's not time yet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not time yet. Have to hit up my guy Ollie for that one, though. Although he's just going to tell me don't bet on this poverty team. Oh, he's in chat. They're in a rebuild. They obviously blow this. Ollie, just tell us if you're taking are you taking Rhode Island today or not? You don't need to talk about the rebuild. Are you taking him today or not, dude? All right.
He's Let me know.
Yeah, every time I text him, are you taking Rhode Island? He goes, please don't take him. Please don't take him. He knows. Yeah, and even Jeff's saying don't take him, and he goes there too. All right. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. All right. Cleveland State and the Bonnies. You got any plays in that or not?
Yeah, God, no.
Okay. Cleveland State got off to an atrocious start, and now they're red hot. I think the Bonnies are a bunch of frauds. I mean, all their good players left, but they still have a decent record this season. For me, that'd be Cleveland State or nothing. I like the way that spread's moved, but I'm not going to play that. Okay. What about?
I will say, if anybody out of the very large favorites that are on the board, if I had to take one, it would certainly be Tennessee.
You like Tennessee?
Yeah. I don't like the very large, lay the ridiculous amount of points favorites. They would certainly be the one that I'd take. I just don't think Eastern Kentucky scores against this team. I think Tennessee is another one of those teams that like a UConn, I think is very, very good, and people don't just realize that yet. Because I think after that Colorado loss, it's very slept on how good this team has rebounded and come back from that. So I think this one is going to get ugly. I don't know if I'm going to be on it because it's just so many points, but I would be shocked if this one isn't disgusting.
Damn, you think Vescovi tweaks today? I love me some Vescovi.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has to be honest with you. Like
it is true. They're not playing fucking Duke. Also, can we give some respect to Duke and those freshmen, man?
Oh, yeah.
I know it wasn't, the freshmen carrying really the weight last night, but they did their job. It was mainly fucking who's their guard, who's their only older player, the junior. Who's their guard who tweaked last night for Duke?
Jeremy Roach.
Yeah, Jeremy Roach. Jeremy Roach carried last night, but the rest of the freshmen, it's literally Jeremy Roach and a bunch of freshmen on that team. The freshmen did their job.
Filipowski was him.
Absolutely. Dude, he is really fucking good. I think he's the best one. He's not going to be the best NBA player out of them. Derek Whitehead is starting to get going too, by the way. He's getting better every game now. He's going to be an absolute fucking issue. And he's still kind of getting his feet wet. I mean, he missed a month right before the season. That's absolutely terrible for growth as a freshman, I think. That's terrible timing. But Filipowski, I think, is going to be one of the best players in college basketball this season. Straight up. He already kind of is. He's a dog, I think.
Yeah. He's
get
the
him
glue
the
of that
fucking
team,
rock.
to be honest.
Yeah, dude.
So
He plays defense. He can rebound. He can shoot. He can back down. He can score any way he wants.
Yeah. He's the only one that's kind of saving the balance of that team from being just the Roach show. So he's been everything for them. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
I think he's going to be like from their tournament year, like the Colin Castleton figure of Florida. I think he's going to be so good for that team.
C-Lord, I did not see your comment about Dylan Penn getting healthy. Was Dylan Penn hurt? Was that why he was playing like shit?
Must be.
And also, did Vermont absolutely roll last night? What was the score of that game? Let me know, C-Lord. I'm assuming they covered the 5 if you're bringing that up. Good bet if you bet them. I'm not rooting against Dylan Penn, by the way. I want that kid to succeed. I've just been disappointed with what I've seen out of them so far. 68-52. That's a good Vermont win. That's what they should be doing. It's Vermont. It's the Catamounts. They run that they run that conference. They're good. Okay. Is Filipowski, is he one and done? Is he going to the league?
I mean, I have no idea on his plans. But
okay. You haven't asked him or called him?
Yeah, I mean, I can text him. You know, we're best friends. We just got lunch the other day. But we'll have to see. I don't know if he'll be one and done. He just doesn't feel like that. I don't know. Depends on how he progresses.
Okay. DJ Coochie, no, not today.
Why you got to be a dick?
Not today. They took my Twitter away from me. It's my baby. Not today, brother. All right. You were telling me all day you want to take Hampton +2 against Loyola Maryland as your favorite play of the day. You taking them or what?
That's a crazy comment. If anybody ever says that, I would genuinely like to pay for your trip to whatever psych ward is nearest to you.
Well, I will say Loyola of Maryland's the Greyhounds, by the way, one of those underrated mascots in sports. They're getting 80% of bets, 94% of handle. And that line, I've never seen a line not move this much. I've never seen a sturdier line in my life. Ever. It's not moving back. It's not moving forward. Hasn't moved a speck. Not an inch. I like Hampton. I've watched this team play this season. They're a Virginia school. Loyola Maryland, I used to go to Loyola Maryland every year to see the Mount play them. I know, sorry, too soon to bring up the Mount, but Loyola Maryland used to be a pretty damn good basketball team. Now they're kind of beat. And I kind of want to take Hampton, but it's more just to bet the line, not the teams in this spots. 2-6 team +2 at home, getting less than 10% of the handle. Line's not moving. Give me the home team. Give me Hamp.
It's all you. They're on the short list of teams that I can't bet. I don't want to do it, which probably makes you like it more. But I'll let you have that one.
All right. That's fair. Am I from Frederick? No, I'm from Annapolis, brother. Sorry, Frog Nips. Not from Fredericks. How many people are betting on that shit? That's a good point. There's probably about 6 people on that total.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, well, I'll keep Hampton in my back pocket. I guess nobody wants it. Damn, I'll keep it to myself.
You can keep it. It's not a bad play.
I'll keep it to myself.
Not a bad play.
How about Fairfield on their new court, laying 8 to a team with a winning record? You taking a stab on Fairfield today? This is your sleeper pick of the mid majors, Fairfield.
Yeah, I mean, I got a national championship ticket in my pocket. So I mean,
man,
that certainly is a little weird. Hanging 7.5 against a Sacred Heart team that's been pretty decent this year.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming off of a couple lackluster performances though, which would probably scare me a little bit. But interesting number. It's not one that caught my eye, but I wouldn't be against a play with it.
Yeah, it's definitely a lean, but I don't know if I want to actually play that. And they also charge the fucking. Yeah, dude, I know. But the thing about the Mountain is that they have so much grit and heart and defense that they usually pull off shit like that. And they almost did. They tied it late. They did. They showed serious heart and grit. They did. They just didn't have enough. I mean, they literally have one player on their team that could score, and he got hurt like 2 minutes in the game. So that's some red valve.
Some pain.
That's some red valve. These mid-major teams, bro, they got one scorer, and then they transfer to a fucking Power 5 team the next year, and then they bring in one more scorer.
Speaking of one scorer, even though they actually kind of have two, you know what square I want to fade today?
Who?
Imani Bates, under 3s.
Oh.
I want to take that. The chart's scary to look at, but it's just so fake in the first place, which I know I've kind of wanted to take the over on some of those. And for reference, I don't know if you can put it up or whatever, but
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, it's all red, but the games, 3 of them are from his Memphis days. So like he's been hitting this, he's been absolutely chucking 3s. So it's very deceitful, which when you look at that, I guess you could say, why are they putting up an all red chart and people want to take the under, but for me, it's more these 3 numbers have not been hitting. And for a guy who is going up against an Illinois State team that I think is going to make that offense very uncomfortable, and 2, he's been really looking at getting to the rim more, which if you look at that, he's still chucking up plenty of 3s, but his focus has kind of been getting to the rim, not even shooting like mid-range shots, which is kind of his thing, come off the pick and roll and pull up. But he's been getting to the rim more. He's been getting to the free throw line. And against an Illinois State team that fouls a ton, I think that's going to be a serious emphasis. So I think this is a one that I'm going to fade, certainly.
Why do they only – it's so weird they only have November 15th and November 11th from this season.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense at all. I don't understand.
Just his first 2 games of the season. I guess it must be a glitch or something, bro. I don't fucking know. He's coming off an 0 for 7 performance from 3. I don't think he's going to be in a rush to jack him up.
Well, look at how many shots he puts up, or how many 3s he puts up.
Well, and the game before he had 10. He had 10 3s.
I mean, every game this year except the Michigan game, which I guess the Michigan game he had 6. He's had 7 attempted 3s or more in every single game. And he's coming off like other than that 0 for 7 game, he's coming off. He's hit 3, 2, 4, 4, 5, 3, 3. So I mean, it's not like he's any shortage of volume or whatever. I mean, the dude's taken overall 14 or more shots in every single game because he's such a focal part of that offense. So.
He's the whole fucking team, dude.
He is. I mean, Farrakhan's good too. I'll give him his credit too. But yeah, I think this is a one where he's just going to get 2s. He's just going to get to the bucket. I just don't see him sailing for many 3s against this Illinois State team.
Okay.
I want to play the trend.
Somebody said Pickett's points look low. Huh. Interesting. Good eye. I'm taking notes, by the way. Sorry. I get these props down. That is a little hot. That is a little low for how he's been playing. Huh. Interesting. Who made that comment? Somebody deserves props for that. What's up, Lance? Good shit, Lance. Respect. Von Miller out for season. Brutal.
Ooh. For Pickett. Oh, okay. Only tracks games he's listed on the board. That makes sense.
Ooh, Phils. You are so wise. You were so wise. Phils, I don't want to talk to you this week, though, man. You know why? I'm not talking. I'm banning Phils for my life for a week. No, I didn't mean that. I love Phils. Damn it.
So
Why
honestly,
is he got to be so nice? Fuck.
looking at it that way too, if they only track games that he's listed on the board, and when they put him on the board, it's not hitting. Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, always down to fade any Imani Bates prop whenever.
Yeah.
Whenever. Sure.
Those are interesting ones. There's a couple. I took note of a couple pretty interesting bumps. I'll talk about some of those later because more coming up, but that's probably my favorite of them.
Okay. Noted. How about VT only opening up -6.5 against Dayton's? That's scary. That's scary. Or do you think that's respect? I mean, look, I know Dayton was ranked preseason, but I mean, they suck, man. Like, we've watched them play this year. They blow.
Yeah, they're bad.
Now, this is a bad matchup for VT. Dayton's huge. We're small. Dayton's big and strong and not a good matchup for us. I think that's a short opener with how well we've been playing, but that's my opinion. I'm in no rush to bet the hoax, but I like that we've moved from -6.5 to -7.5. You got any thoughts on this game?
I mean, this game really reminds me a lot of that Minnesota game, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, low total. I think it's actually lower than that Minnesota game. So I think it's going to be it's going to be a slugfest. Didn't see
it's low as shit, dude.
Yeah, 125.5.
We're supposed to score. Like, we're supposed to be able to score.
Yeah, and I mean, this Dayton team certainly has played games like that against a lot of teams, like the Wisconsin game that might have been the worst thing that my eyes have laid eyes upon. But some of the other games, they've been scoring, and I mean, it's certainly strange. I guess, you know, I don't want to say Sela is a team to kind of base lines off of, but they are coming off a game where they scored 80 points, and Virginia Tech did the same exact thing against UNC. So, I mean, two much worse defenses, granted, but coming off of those games, seeing a total at 125.5.
I like that under.
Yeah, I like that under. And I think this reeks of a game that is going to end like right on the other side, one of the sides of that line, of that spread.
Fuck. Well, it opened up at 126.5. It's down to 125.5. I'm looking at splits on this end. We're seeing only 20% of bets and 34% of handle on the under, but that line's moving down. It's actually 127. Is that right? It's 127 on DK, or have I not updated this? Let me hit an old refresh. Give me a minute. Hold the line. Hold. Yeah, okay. Disregard that. 125.5, but same splits. 20%, 32% on the under. And that line's cooking down.
Ooh. Oh, yes, sir, Chase. Wings won outright. Painful for the Lightning, but pays.
Dude, I really like that VT under, man.
Yeah. This is I like what Willie Beeman's saying too. That's probably one of my favorite plays of the day right there.
SMU.
Catching 5.5 at home against Arizona State.
Oh my God.
Who has they're feeling good about themselves. They've had a decent start to Pac-12 played, a couple short lines not on top of. And we're seeing some places I see this line at 5. This SMU team is coming off of a outright loss to Jackson State, who looked really good against TCU yesterday without their two best players. This SMU team is just so bad.
This is a good one. This is a good one.
Garbage. They've been ran by A&M. They lost outright to Lafayette at home. They've played disgusting games. Got 20-piece by UNM.
Sure. Ace, we'll talk about that later. Don't nuke anything yet.
Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite play of the day. SMU plus 5, 5.5, wherever you get.
Okay.
I honestly, with this line, I think it's kind of like a similar thing to like all the football lines we see at 5, 5.5. I think they win this game.
And then I have to address this comment real quick about Dayton VT. Last year's press was a major issue for VT. Yeah, presses have been issues for VT this season, getting the ball in bounds. Padula, he's definitely faster and bigger and stronger than Murphy. Thank God. Padula's running point now, but Padula's a little wild. So he's due for a couple turnovers today. If they had like a Padula turnover prop in this game, I would take it. It's got Padula turnovers written all over it. He'll probably still drop 20 though because he's a buck. But
Yeah,
I
I've
think
been
their defense will give us
weirdly
fits.
noticing with Padula. I don't know if he's up for this today. I'm looking for it. He's not.
Okay.
Whenever he's listed for threes and his points, both of them never hit. Like it's always one or the other, and you can pretty easily read it because one of them gets bumped. So whenever that's up next, I will be looking heavy for that.
He's also like top 3 in biggest scoring improvement for point guards in college basketball. I think he's plus 11 points per game this season from last year. Not surprising. He's the starting point guard now. And last year, for some reason, he was backing up Storm, which was stupid.
Yeah.
So not really shocking, but Padula's a bucket. Don't get me wrong. That's interesting, though. Let's keep our eyes on that.
Yeah, his points. I mean, now that I'm looking at his points, seem a little high for a game with such a big total or low total.
Good.
So,
well, he's been getting slurped. I will say he deserves it, though.
Yeah,
he deserves it. He's a dog, but that's good. Okay, and let's keep our eyes on that next time they put his threes up.
Yeah, for sure.
SMU, bro.
I love that.
I can get behind that. All right, let's keep powering through. We're only like halfway through the CBB games. You taking Southern Indiana or Southern Illinois against Indiana State? It's minus 3.5 today.
Yeah, it's actually my 10-unit max play that you're gonna have to pay $4.99 to see the write up for, but I'm not touching that game with a 10-foot pole.
All right. Well,
you have a play on that game?
I lean Southern Illinois against. I mean, unless Larry Bird's coming back and playing for Indiana State, but I love the splits. I don't really know why Southern Illinois is the favorite in this game, to be honest with you. It's a little weird, but they are home.
Yeah.
They are home.
If I had to pick like a disgusting game, I guess, that makes absolutely no sense and it's a call the number type of play, I'll probably take Tulsa. That would probably be my one with a super high total. Both these teams are just bad, but I mean, one of them has Antoine Davis, which is a significant edge, and this Tulsa team has just gotten destroyed by a lot of bad teams. I mean, I love Max Abmas, but Oral Roberts is not good. Demolished them on the road. They got killed by Oak State and gave up 82 points in it. Got pieced by Murray State, lost to Tulsa at home. I mean, should have really lost to Jackson State at home too. I mean, they're so bad. And to see them opening up, what did they open? 3.5, 4. Now they're up to 5. Yeah, that's probably the gross play I would take.
Okay, Crook, do not bomb Bruins minus 1.5, brother.
Especially
do not do that
to minus 200. Don't do that.
Please do not do that. Also, Evansville is only catching 2.5 points at home against the Campbell Camels. I'm also going to be giving that a look too. I'm going to dive into these mid-major games later afterwards. I'll be honest with you, these fucking mid-major dick butt states that we've been trying to take have not been hitting. They just haven't. Like the Mount last night, just didn't hit. So I'm not really sprinting to go bet on Evansville plus 2.5 against Campbell Camels. But
combined goals props allowed again, you say?
You know.
Avs whole team is out. Didn't know that. Had no clue.
I guess I'll be on the Avs ML today. God damn it.
Vladar's up to 2.5 goals. Oh.
I know.
Ooh.
That's good.
That's not good for the Flames, but that's good for the over.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of leaning more towards the Flames because the Fleury shutout odds being super, super low, but
now you like the over?
That's making me lean a little more towards the over.
Okay. Speaking of Ballsack State, you want to take the minus 11 on the road against Eastern Illinois?
God,
20U VIP premium play of the day.
VIP premium.
All right. What about Nebraska, Illinois? Sorry, Nebraska, Indiana. Indiana coming off of a bad loss to Rutgers where they dropped a career low in points for an AP. What was the stat? It was like least points scored by a ranked team and like 50, something like that. It was a terrible offensive performance from them. Nebraska's coming off of 3 straight wins, including an outright win to Creighton.
Yeah.
Talk about a spot bet. Yeah. This is a spot bet for Indiana.
For both of these teams. Yeah.
Yeah, and they moved from -12 to -12.5. Indiana interests me today. At
100%.
home, too. Like, this is – if they were on the road, I would never lay Indiana -12.5. But at home, they're a different team.
So our man Adam's apple. He's got us. He's got us.
Boots on the ground, Adam.
Boots on the ground.
Okay. You like that play, Jovan?
I do like that play. Talk about it. It's a buy low, sell high spot in Indiana, and just the opposite for Nebraska.
How are the Washington Splittingtons on this one?
The Washington Splintons. Let's take a look, shall we?
Trying to find them.
I mean, Indiana's still pretty public, but I don't know.
Well,
I guess
they're going to be public. Fuck it.
Yeah, they're going to be public. They're Indiana. It's Trace Jackson Davis. It's whatever.
Yeah. All right. That's a fat spread.
It's a big number.
With a fat spread with a low total.
Yeah.
Warning. That's a fat spread with a low total. Warning. That tells me
Big
Indiana's rolling.
Big warning.
Okay. Florida. Why the fuck did this line move from +3.5 to +4.5? Why are people in chat saying Florida's public? Why are people trying to scare me off of my get the coins back?
Yeah, they're definitely not
public. Play of the day.
Definitely not public. Nowhere close.
Okay. All right. Thank you for
putting
those rumors to rest.
Yeah, I mean, UConn's getting 70-ish, both sides. So certainly not public.
Line is certainly moving though.
Line is certainly moving. I need it to kind of take a hold to go the other way.
Hold.
Start seeing some fives that get a little nervous. But Florida's bad though. Just stay off of it.
Nope. I think I'm good. I think I'll probably bet it now. Thank you.
I mean, could just stay off of it because the better team covers every single time. But Florida. I think the one spot that can make them very uncomfortable, like Florida is I guess, disappointing, as you can say, as they've been this season. When they lock in on defense, they lock in on defense, and that's been kind of few and far in between. But when they do, you can really tell. And Castleton is such a different element to their offense and defense, for that matter. As far as matching up with Sonogo, talking about some of those wings who a big problem a big, I guess, strength of UConn has been a lot of those wings just getting to the basket, and they can't really help because Sonogo's there. Castleton is very, very good at limiting those, and so is the rest of that perimeter defense, kind of funneling it directly to the baseline. So that's going to be really, really good for Florida. Playing in Florida is just such a tough place to play.
Yep.
And for like this man's saying, number 5 UConn, who has been very just unbeatable this year. They've looked flawless. Going on the road is a very, very different environment, especially because I don't want to say they've gotten bailed out by their shooting. But there's certainly a lot of performances where they've struggled at times as far as getting to the basket, and they've just shot over the top of guys. And it's been some ridiculous shooting performances, aka that Oklahoma State game, which that was a lot of just great shot making / Oklahoma State fouled 65 times. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Hawkins regression inbound, exactly. And this is probably the spot where it comes, because this is, again, a really tough place to play in Gainesville, and the line tells all here. As long as it kind of stays put or goes back to 4, which I would love.
Okay. Please stop moving, line. Please stop moving. Please. Florida's my favorite play of the day today. At least it was this morning.
Yeah.
Hate the way it's moving though. But yeah, I'll be on the Gators today, barring any +5s that show.
Yeah, that's what we need to not see for sure.
I have a basketball brain play for a dog today. Utah Valley against BYU.
I like that.
You knew I was going to say that. Yeah, the line's moving, which I already like. We'll get this shit out of the way. +9 to +7.5. Haven't checked the splits, but if I was a betting man, I'd say that I'd like them. Yep, 42% of bets on Utah Valley, but 74% of handle. So some big boys are dropping some bets with the voice crack on Utah Valley. Holy smokes. But you look over at the ML, 3% of bets, 7% of handle on Utah Valley ML. So talk about a parlay piece for BYU ML that could get busted in this game. I think Utah Valley could win this game outright. I really do. It's a fucking nightmare matchup for BYU. They've got Utah Valley has this kid, Aziz Bandiago, this 7-foot behemoth of a man from Senegal, who's been, not only is he just a big body, the dude's actually been putting up pretty fucking good numbers. He's averaging 12 and 10. And he's been getting rebounds. He's been getting boards. He's huge. And then you look over at BYU. I mean, if BYU wants to play Noah Waterman a bunch of minutes today, because he's the only guy, bigger than 6'6" on that team, if they want to put in him and have him battle against our guy Aziz, good fucking luck, because that dude's a clown and he plays like 15 minutes a game anyways. So BYU is tiny. If our guy Aziz does his job, they should win this game outright, in my opinion. Hence why that line's moved that way. So I absolutely love Utah Valley in this spot.
I think it's a really good play. I mean, without Barcelo for this team, there's not the same team. They're not a good team. The reason they're getting this number is because they're BYU. It's kind of I look at this game kind of similar to that New Mexico St. Mary's game. It's a very overrated team who has the name going up against a team who's been kind of good. I don't want to say Utah Valley's been New Mexico level, but similar circumstance. Yeah, they've been decent, and I think they're for me personally a lot better than I thought they would be without Fardaws in there in the inside. So held their own. I think it'll be solid. I think it's a good play.
Real quick, because we're about to wrap this up for the squad rides. Towson only getting 6.5 points at Clemson with some of their players questionable. Does that tickle your fancy?
Some of Towson's players questionable?
Yes.
I mean, it just might.
Does that tickle your fancy?
It just might. I mean, the total. I guess Clemson's so inconsistent offensively, but they have been putting up a decent amount of points. Their offense has been a little better and a little more consistent than years past. Low total, and that's kind of how Towson plays. So if they're going to play their game and keep this close, total at 131, I don't hate that. And yes, I know Fardaws went to Texas Tech because he's not on the team.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any updates on these Bulls. Damn, Kyle Lofton is a game time decision for Florida tonight too. Fuck. He's been so bad too for them, man. He's got to step up. He was like one of the best point guards in the country at St. Bonaventure last year. He's been an ass this season. He's a game time. That could have to do with that line move, Jovan.
It just could. It just could.
That's sketchy,
really,
man.
I mean, realistically though, as long as they have Castleton and Trey Bonham, I'm good. There's not really anything for me, because I think whether he plays or whether he doesn't, it's really going to rely on how can Castleton stop Sonogo and stop everybody getting to the hoop, and can Trey Bonham just score? Because realistically, if he's not scoring, that's where that team is just shut down. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. And then any of these late night games, there's a good amount of them tonight. Any of these late night games sticking out to you, or you want to play anything? Merrimack money line plus 10,000.
I honestly, so I was talking about the big favorites. I might consider taking San Fran.
Merrimack is terrible.
Merrimack is so bad.
Their players are fighting each other off the court. They're beating the fuck out of each other.
And I thought they'd be able to at least score a little bit with Jordan Minor back, and they just can't. They can't do anything. So San Fran has been, I think, a little worse than the record indicates, especially coming off. They just got drubbed by 20 points against Utah State. This seems like a pretty decent bounce back spot. I would love if the line did not move a point the other way, but we've seen that with Merrimack, I think, every single game this year where we've either taken them or considered it. So I'm not scared. I just think this is a spot where they come out and win by 40. Maybe Merrimack does put up 40 points. I don't know. It's a gross blowout.
Okay. I have to get this one in before we wrap this up. How about Sacramento State minus 6.5 to 8-1 Denver? You see that? 3-5 Sacramento State moving from -3 to -6.5.
Yeah, I don't hate it. To be honest with you, I'm just done fading Denver though.
Okay. I mean, they're literally them and American are they just win and cover every game.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've done it like 3 or 4 times this year on very short spreads and not come out on top of it. They're also they did play already this year. They played already this year, and Sac State won by 4 on the road.
What the?
So that
Okay,
line
well, that could have to do with it.
plays a little more. It makes a little more sense than it looks on first glance.
Okay. All right, that's fair. You just burst in my bubble, but that's okay. All right, what are we throwing in for the squad ride? Can we fucking hit one today, chat?
SMU.
Can we fucking hit one today, chat, please?
Yeah.
Please.
Let's lock in. Let's lock in.
SMU plus 5.5 is going in.
That is for sure my entry there.
You want to take the Calgary over?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. How about Dayton and VT under?
Fine with that too.
Okay. Under 125.5. All right. And then you want to put in, do you want to put in Florida and Utah Valley, or do you not want to put them in and you want to keep it to 3? What do you want to do?
We all know it's going to be CBB. Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's up to you. I think I have enough say in my 3. It's whatever you can have the other 2. Up to you whether you want to put in the other 2, whatever you feel good about.
Okay.
I
want to put in.
Up to you.
So I will say what's worrying me a speck about Utah Valley is that. Fuck, I'm trying to find the tweet. Hold on. Where is it? Spencer Johnson's out tonight for BYU, and he averages 11 points a game. So that scares me. So I think I want to keep them out. But I do want to put in Florida, and I want to put in Towson plus 6.5.
Let's do that then.
All right. So we're going SMU plus 5.5, which I love. We're going to Calgary over. We're going Dayton VT under 125.5. We're going Florida plus 4.5. And we're going Towson plus 6.5. Vote. Go. Can we please hit one? We're fucking 20-12 now. We were like 20-3 at one point. What are we doing?
Hey, it's all right. Let's do it.
Are we getting complacent? Are we getting complacent here? I'm voting for SMU. Your confidence in that game has brought confidence in me in that game, and I already love the spot. So that's where my vote's going. But I will have coins on all of these plays. So these are probably my 5 favorite plays of the day at this point, with maybe Utah Valley in there too. Well, there we go, guys. There is what we needed to see. A Florida fan saying, don't bet Florida. We know what that means, okay? Not just a Florida. Oh, Florida's a terrible play. Sure. I might switch my vote. I might switch my vote. If Lofton was confirmed and I didn't have to worry about where that line moves once he gets rolled in or out, I would probably be voting for Florida here, but SMU is good to go. That's a winning play.
I love it.
Give me that.
Line moved to 4.5 to 5.5. So actually, it was at 6.5 at a point. So,
hey now.
Yeah, check that one.
All right. SMU gross play of the day. Also BTL squad ride. Who would have thought? Billy Beeman, you get it. Billy, you're seeing Lofton is playing. Okay, cool. Okay. Bro, SMU play was copy and pasted from Twitter. Okay, well, I can't even go on my Twitter, so I don't even know that. Matt, I literally can't even go on it. So, all right. He saw it on his book at 4.5 earlier, and it moved to shit ton. That's not good, Jeff.
Yeah, it climbed up and then got back down very, very quickly.
Okay. But now it's moving towards SMU?
Yeah, I mean, the last move it had was down to 5.5. Okay. And I'm seeing a couple fives hanging.
Okay, guys, you know what to do. Vote for SMU. There it is. Thank you, Ali. I appreciate it. All right. Is anyone missing an SMU? Not from what I saw. Not from what I saw. You know these sneak injuries, though. They come out of nowhere. So we'll find out before tip, probably 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Before tip. Okay. Yeah, George, the Hawaii line is also sketch. I lean Hawaii for sure, but I don't know if I want to bet them. All right. All right, SMU absolutely ran away with it. Absolutely ran away with it. All right, Jovan, your confidence oozed through the stream and into the poll.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, chats, can we freaking hit one today? Holy smokes, it's been a while. We're 20-12 on BTL Squad Ride still. That place. and that pays.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, I might even find my way over to that game.
Hey now.
Might have to.
All right. Well, you must be throwing some serious beans if you're going over there. I respect it. Chat, happy Wagon Wednesday. We're going to send you over to Trent, craft up some parlays. We'll be seeing.
Well,
Hopefully I get my Twitter back.